Hi guys, today we are going to know what are the OOPS concepts in programming. OOPS means object oriented programming. Okay, so let's first know what is a class. Class is a collection of data members and methods. It's a template used to create objects. So what is the syntax for the class? So class name, here inside the braces data members and methods are included, where here as shown in the syntax, class is the keyword and class name is name of the class and data members are what is the variable declaration. So how to declare the variables, you can refer the previous videos I uploaded in my channel. So method, functions to perform the logic. Functions are also I have told about this in the previous video, you can check out there. Okay, next, moving on, what is the object? Object, it is an instance of a class. It's an actual implementation of the class. So how object is created? Using a keyword new. See here class name is taken and then here obj. Here obj means it's a object type. New means it's a keyword and class name is included here. Object is created like this. Here new is a keyword used to allocate a memory for data members of the class, and here second one is constructor. Constructor means it's a method in the name of a class without return type and it is to initialize the data members of the class. So this one is obj, it's used to refer the instance of a memory created by new keyword. In this place we can give whatever we want. So let's see one example for this class and object. So if vehicle is taken as a class and name, price, model number are data members. Okay, see object is created like this. Vehicle vh1 is equal to new vehicle. Here new is keyword and this is the object. So what is static? Static is a keyword used to make a variable or method as a static. When static keyword is used, this method is called a static method in a class. Okay, see this static method cannot be copied by an instance and memory is allocated while defining the class only. Like this, it is declared class name dot static method. So let's see some examples for the classes. First example, create an employee class with data members name, age, city and include a method inside the class as display the name, age, city in the log and create an object for the class and assign values to the members. See, okay. Now let's see this in the developer console. Okay, let's create an Apex class. See, class is created now. Okay, here name, age and city is taken as data members and data types are also included. Then a display method is included inside the employee class and debug log is used to display. Okay, let's save this. Okay, now this class is saved. Let's execute this using the anonymous window. Okay, how to execute this? Let's create an instance of this class. Employee emp is equal to new employee. Let's give values for this: name, age and city. Let's see by including the method. So it's executing now. See, all the details are displayed in the debug log. So let's take the next example. Next one is create a class, account class, with data members name, rating, industry, annual revenue, and a method void show to display the name, rating and industry in the log. Okay. Let's create another class. While creating a class name, there should not be any spaces or any extra symbols. We have to create Apex class name without any spacing between the letters. Okay. Okay, let's look out what are there in the class. Name, rating, industry, annual revenue are taken, and in the show method debug log is included. Let's save this first. And then execute this using anonymous window. How we'll execute this? In the same manner. It's already given. Let's paste this. Okay. Okay. Name, rating, industry, annual revenue, the values are given. Let's execute this using highlighted option. See, the values are displayed using the debug log, using the Apex class. Okay. Next one is create a class product info with data members, product name, price, quantity and method calculate with argument same product name, price and quantity, and calculate the total prices, price into quantity, then display the total in the log. Okay. take this class. Let's take one new Apex class. So inside this class, product name, quantity and price are taken as the data members. String, integer, decimal are data types for these data members. Next, calculate method is included. Okay, this is the class, normal class. Constructor is not included in this. Okay, if constructor is included, then the class name and the constructor name are same. Okay, so here product, quantity and cost are taken as input parameters, and then these two parameters are matched using equals, and then total price is calculated using a formula, and then debug log is used. Let's save this first. Next one, we'll execute this. Okay, new product info. Okay, total price is calculated. Total price is displayed in the debug log. Next, we'll move on to the new topic called constructor. What is a constructor? It's a method in the name of class without return type. It is used to create an instance of the class. Okay, it is used to initialize the class members. Okay, when constructor is taken, okay, data members or used data members can be initialized using the constructor. Okay, see here in this example, integer a, b, c are taken as the data members, and in this constructor method, a is equal to b is equal to 0 are initialized. If you observe this, here the class name and this method name are same in the constructor. Okay, this is the same. So let's take some examples for constructors now. Let's see how we'll create this. Public class and then class name, next one we have to include constructor. Here constructor method name is same as the class name, and we have to include the brackets. Like this, the constructor class is created. Let's see another example for constructor. name, public class, and then class name, and then braces, data members are included, string name. So before each data type we have to include the access modifier as public. If the access modifier is as public, we can access anywhere in the program. If it is private, we cannot access anywhere. So then constructor is included. Okay, like this. Okay. So next we'll move on to the next topic called interface. So what is the interface? Interface means it contains the only method definition without implementation. Method signatures, but implementation is not provided in this. Let's see what is the syntax. See, first access modifier and then interface using the interface keyword, and then we have to provide interface name as you wish, and it contains only method signatures. Let's see some examples. Public interface and then interface name, discount and display are displayed. Next one, let's take another class. Okay, here customer class is taken, and then implements keyword is taken, and then only final discount is taken as a data member, and then discount is taken as a method. Okay. So the class implementing the interface must provide implementation for the methods in the interface. Okay, let's take this example. See, here employee class is implementing another method, string name, age, city, and public decimal final discounts, instance methods, and then show method is included. Okay, so here we covered now class and object, and then inheritance we will see the remaining three methods. What is first? Next one is abstraction. Okay, what is abstraction? Abstraction means to reveal the required information, hiding the details. Okay, details means implementation. This can be achieved using abstraction, and abstraction can be implemented by using the keyword extends. extends keyword is used in this method. This class cannot be instantiated. So in interface method, abstraction can be achieved in 100%. In abstract class, only 1 to 100%. So what are the examples? In gaming and shapes, these methods are used. So abstract class. So in this class, color is taken, then area, shape details. So class implements the abstract using extends keyword. Public class circle shape. Okay, extends the shape class. Here first shape class is done, and then another class is taken by using the above class. And then here in this, radius value is taken as the data member, then total area is calculated. Okay, let's take this class now. In the anonymous window, okay, abstract decimal area, public string color. Let's save this. So it is saved. Let's take the another class by using extends keyword. Okay, what is the another class name? Circle shape. Okay, okay. Let's take shape. Okay, SLS dot LS So here I am trying to save this abstract class. In this camera function we have to provide public access modifier. That's why it's not saving, I think. Sometimes this developer console will hang, no, it will show the same error many times. So I tried to close the developer console and I tried again saving. Okay, it's executing now. Let's see what we will get the result. Okay, it's like basic policy. Okay, we got the first one. If we give this one, we'll get the answer, will display this one, debug log. Okay, okay, next we'll move on to the next topic. What is method overriding? So method overriding means it's object-oriented programming that enables the child class to provide different implementation for a method that is already implemented in the parent class. Okay, this is possible only through inheritance. So method overriding means, so let's see this example. Already we did this in this one Android class. See, this Lava mobile class is extending the Android class. So in this one we are using actually method overriding. So we are overriding the properties of the parent class. So this is called method overriding. Okay. So what is inheritance? Parent will have some behavior. The child class can inherit the properties and override the behavior with override keyword. Okay. Fine. So these are the concepts in OOPS. Next we'll see what is visual force, and that is the interesting topic. Okay. Please support me guys. If there is any mistakes, please forgive me and let me know in the comments. Thank you, and please subscribe to my channel. See you in next video.